Could the United States face a shortfall of precision missiles and munitions in a prolonged regional war? And if so, might that shortage occur before Iran's most dangerous ally exhausts its nuclear capabilities? What would the strategic balance look like if the next dominant nuclear power turned out not to be China, but instead the close ally of figures like Mujtaba, reshaping regional deterrence and global alliances? Is North Korea on the verge of developing a credible, reliable intercontinental strike capability that could threaten the US homeland with a nuclear weapon for the first time in history? Could a build-up of roughly 50 North Korean nuclear warheads be leveraged, overtly or covertly, as a strategic asset that gives China a hidden coercive edge in any confrontation over Taiwan? Could Beijing exploit the nuclear threat posed by North Korea to create ambiguity, constrain US operational responses, and effectively paralyze US Pacific Command's freedom of action during a crisis? According to reporting by Bloomberg, analysts now warn that North Korea may possess enough nuclear warheads and delivery options to saturate and potentially overwhelm US missile defense systems, creating scenarios in which American interceptors and layered defenses could be strained beyond their design capacity. Intelligence estimates suggest Pyongyang currently holds roughly 50 nuclear warheads, and officials say that additional devices and fissile material are actively under development in order to expand and diversify that arsenal over the coming years. Bloomberg reports that if North Korea sustains its current production tempo of fissile material and warhead assembly, Kim's forces could feasibly approach or match the size of Israel's nuclear stockpile by around 2035, with significant implications for regional and global deterrence calculations. South Korean officials have warned that North Korea's industrial capacity and facilities could allow Pyongyang to build as many as 20 new nuclear weapons per year, a rate of expansion that would quickly change strategic balances on the peninsula and beyond. Projections based on current production trends indicate North Korea could, within the next decade, amass a nuclear arsenal that rivals the size of France's stockpile, raising questions about proliferation, deterrence, and the threshold for international responses. Satellite imagery and open-source reporting show Pyongyang is expanding and modernizing multiple facilities associated with the production of weapons-grade fissile material, increasing its ability to manufacture additional warheads at greater scale and pace. Beyond stockpile growth, North Korea is actively testing and refining new delivery technologies, ranging from long-range ballistic missiles to potentially mobile and submarine launch systems, that would make its nuclear weapons harder to detect, track, and defend against. If current expansion continues, analysts warn Kim's nuclear arsenal could soon surpass the inventories held by the United Kingdom, Israel, and Pakistan, altering regional threat perceptions and complicating traditional calculations of strategic parity. Bloomberg reporting warns that North Korea's Hwasong series of intercontinental ballistic missiles may now pose a credible threat to US homeland defense systems, raising fresh concerns about whether current US interceptors and sensors can reliably detect and defeat an incoming salvo. Analysts say specific Hwasong variants, including the 15, 17, 18, and 19, could be designed and tested in ways that allow them to penetrate US ground-based midcourse defenses, challenging the layered missile shield that American planners have relied upon for decades. The United States has invested roughly $65 billion in its ground-based midcourse defense network, a multi-layered system of interceptors, radars, and command nodes intended to protect the homeland from limited ballistic missile attacks. Beyond ICBMs aimed at distant targets, North Korea's dense inventory of short and medium-range missiles remains capable of striking US allies across Asia, threatening bases, cities, and critical infrastructure in South Korea, Japan, and other regional partners. Decades of sanctions, diplomacy, and pressure intended to halt Kim's nuclear program have so far failed to stop its expansion, as Pyongyang continues to develop both fissile material production and delivery systems with growing speed and sophistication. Guam continues to be singled out as a principal target because of its strategic location and the large stockpile of US munitions and military assets stationed there, making it a high-value objective in Pyeongchang's contingency planning. Guam continues to be singled out as a principal target because of its strategic location and the large stockpile of US munitions and military assets stationed there, making it a high-value objective in Pyongyang's contingency planning. Some assessments suggest North Korea may be approaching the threshold where it could wage an actual limited nuclear campaign, possessing enough weapons and delivery systems to threaten sustained nuclear operations against adversaries. Importantly, Pyongyang has never demonstrated a full-scale, mass nuclear missile attack in live tests, leaving key questions about logistics, command and control, and the practical reliability of such an operation unanswered. Ultimately, uncertainty remains. While estimates and tests raise concern, no definitive public evidence proves that Kim's nuclear-capable missiles can reliably reach and strike North American targets under operational conditions. Last year, US defense intelligence publicly assessed that North Korea possessed roughly 10 operational intercontinental ballistic missiles, a baseline estimate that shaped Allied planning and threat assessments at the time. More recent analyses suggest that Pyongyang's program has accelerated, and some intelligence and open-source experts now estimate North Korea could field as many as 24 active ICBMs, substantially increasing its strike options. Other reports go further, claiming North Korea may already have as many as 48 transporter erector launcher vehicles configured and ready, giving the regime the mobility to disperse and rapidly launch multiple ICBMs. In recent years, dozens of ICBM-sized missiles have been displayed in carefully staged military parades, signaling both a public projection of capability and a potential inventory far larger than earlier estimates. However, analysts caution that many parade-displayed missiles could be mock-ups or inert replicas intended for strategic signaling, meaning visual appearances do not necessarily confirm full operational status. By contrast, the U.S. ground-based Midcourse Defense Network currently fields 44 deployed interceptors located in Alaska and California, forming the primary homeland layer against long-range ballistic missile threats. To respond to evolving threats, Washington plans to expand that shield by adding 20 additional interceptor silos in Alaska, a move intended to improve engagement capacity and redundancy against larger salvos. Defensive planners also work with conservative engagement doctrines that often assume the potential requirement of 2 interceptors per incoming warhead, one to increase the kill probability and a second as a hedge against interceptor failure. Chinese state and regional reports say Xi Jinping is reportedly preparing a visit to North Korea, his first trip there in 7 years, a diplomatic gesture that would carry heavy symbolic weight for Beijing, Pyongyang, and regional security planners. A South Korean media report indicates the Chinese president could arrive in Pyongyang as early as next week, a rapidly scheduled visit that would likely be intended to reset ties and send strategic signals across Northeast Asia. At the same time, Washington has reportedly paused a planned $14 billion arms sale to Taiwan, a decision officials say is aimed at preserving munitions and equipment needed for potential operations related to the escalating conflict involving Iran. The proposed arms transfer has long provoked Beijing's ire, since China views the self-governed island of Taiwan as part of its sovereign territory and consistently opposes foreign weapons sales that strengthen Taipei's defenses. According to accounts from the Trump visit, she reportedly told the US president that Taiwan remains the single most sensitive and potentially explosive issue in Sino-US relations, underlining how easily the topic can escalate diplomatic tensions. Yet behind closed doors, some of Trump's advisors have reportedly expressed growing concern that the situation around Taiwan is deteriorating and could spark a crisis if deterrence and diplomacy fail to hold. Axios reported that US officials, speaking privately, worry Beijing might attempt coercive or military action against Taiwan within the next 5 years, a timeline that has heightened urgency across defense and policy circles. As a result, many US officials now describe Taiwan as confronting its most serious security threat in decades, a perception driven by Beijing's military modernization and shifting regional power dynamics. A rare sighting near Hainan has thrust China's undersea military power back into the spotlight. Footage appears to show a Type 093B nuclear attack submarine surfacing near popular tourist beaches. The submarine was reportedly seen not far from the strategically critical Yulin Naval Complex on Hainan Island. Defense Security Asia reported on the sighting, citing a video said to have been recorded by a tourist on May 14. Open-source intelligence-linked accounts said the submarine was moving unusually close to a public recreation area. China's Type 093B is currently seen as its most advanced nuclear-powered attack submarine. The Type 093B appears to be China's top operational attack submarine until the next-generation Type 095 fully emerges. Displacement is reportedly around 6,200 to 7,000 tons. Length is approximately 413 feet, or about 126 meters. Speed is said to reach around 30 knots. Crew are estimated at roughly 100 officers and sailors. The submarine is reported to feature a vertical launch system along with improved propulsion, stealth, and hydrodynamic performance. Open-source reporting also suggests the boat carries advanced sensors and torpedo armament, boosting its combat capability. Earlier, A satellite image had reportedly captured a Type 093 submarine near an underground bunker back in 2020. Notably, Hainan is not just a tourist island. It is also home to the strategically important Yulin Naval Base. Open source reporting says the Yulin Naval Base is located near Sonya along Hainan's southern coastline. The highly secretive facility is believed to support major Chinese surface fleet and submarine operations in contested regional waters. For China, Hainan appears to serve as both a postcard-perfect coastline and a crucial military launch point. The latest sighting underscores how the undersea contest in the South China Sea is becoming harder to ignore.